Mountain Communications Building on the campus of Texas Christian University. This is TCU News Now.
Hi, and welcome to this semester's first edition of TCU News Now. I'm Austin Pearson.
And I'm Jessica Lawrence. We're in our new studio, but it's still a work in progress. We'll have more on that later in the newscast. The Horned Frog football team returned 17 starters, and almost a dozen of them have garnered preseason attention. Chris Blake explains why expectations are higher for the 2010 season.
After a 12-1 record in 2009 and earning a top 10 ranking in this year's preseason polls, senior receiver Jeremy Curley says the Horned Frogs won't sneak up on anybody this season.
I think the underdog role is kind of thrown out the window, but along with the big stage, we haven't forgot where we come from.
TCU is ranked 7th in the USA Today coaches poll and 6th in the AP Top 25. The 6th ranking in the Associated Press poll is the highest ever preseason spot for the Horned Frogs. Head coach Gary Patterson says his expectations are always this high.
I can stand up here and say we'd like to be 12-0, but I would tell you that's what I would have said the last 9 years as a head football coach.
The Horned Frogs reached the second highest level of Patterson's pyramid last season, falling to Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl, a loss that wasn't as bad as some people thought.
A lot of people look back and say it was an upset that Boise beat TCU. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, you got two teams that are ranked in the top 10 in the country, and when they played a ball game. So do I wish that we won? Yes, but the bottom line to it is that was two good football teams.
Along with the team rankings, the individual awards are adding up for the Horned Frogs. Center Jake Kirkpatrick is a preseason All-American. Linebacker Tank Carter is on the Butkus Award watch list. And then there's Andy Dalton, who is on just about every list a quarterback can be on, including being tabbed the preseason Offensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference.
It's an honor to get some of the individual stuff, but it's all preseason stuff, so it really doesn't matter right now.
Reading all the stuff and what people tell you that you are, or all the other things that go along with it, you'll slip up somewhere along the way, maybe more than once. And that goes for coaches, that goes for players, that goes for everybody. I mean, you can take Coach of the Year honors and you can put them in a closet because we're 0-0 this year.
If TCU reaches its goal of another undefeated regular season, it could find itself playing in a second BCS game, or even back in Arizona, this time playing for the national championship. Chris Blake, TCU News Now.
The Horned Frogs start the season on the national stage at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington against Oregon State.
The game is ESPN's Saturday night game and is one of the marquee matchups in college football's first weekend. Coach Gary Patterson talked about playing on a big stage.
Well, I think the more you're in the spotlight, the less your kids act like it's a spotlight. That's one thing you worry about playing in Oregon State. They played in the Coliseum. They played places. They've been there before. And that's the one thing. But I don't worry about this football team as much as I would maybe a team 3 or 4 or 5 years ago.
For the second year in a row, the Horned Frogs will be sporting a newly designed Nike uniform for the season opener. Katie Love reports from New York.
TCU is one of 10 universities here in New York to be part of Nike's Pro Combat uniform launch.
Bears, Gators, Hurricanes, Horned Frogs, and Hokies, be fast.
This isn't the first time TCU has been chosen to be part of Nike's Pro Combat system of dress. Last year, the team showed off their new uniforms when they played Utah for game day. Matt Lewis, who received the game day football last year, presented the Horned Frog Nike uniforms.
Last year, TCU shook up college football by having an undefeated season and by wearing some of the most memorable uniforms the college world has ever seen.
Inspiration for the uniform came from all-time winning football coach Dutch Meyer, who said,
"Fight them till hell freezes over, then fight them on the ice."
ESPN announcer Chris Fowler says some recruits factor in the design of the uniform when choosing a university to play for.
This event is where college football and fashion kind of converge. College football is Fashion Week here in New York City, and I promise you that fashion plays a key role in college football.
Athletic Director Chris Del Conte says student athletes had an overwhelmingly positive response when they saw the new Pro Combat Nike uniforms.
I think that just speaks volumes for the institution. It tells you where we come from. And what's more important is we're one of 5 that was chosen as a repeat customer.
Steve Priest, a key member of Oregon State's 1967 team, says he wishes the team didn't have to wait till the last game of the season to wear their new Pro Combat uniforms.
We're playing TCU. TCU's going to wear these uniforms. against us, and I think the Beavs should have the opportunity to do that. It's too bad.
TCU will be looking sharp for the season opener. Katie Love, TCU News Now.
To see uniforms for all 10 universities and to hear what ESPN College Game Day host Chris Fowler has to say about the opening weekend, visit our website at tcudailyskiff.com.
Chancellor Victor Boschini joined Patterson Athletic Director Chris Del Conte to announce that funding was reached to start construction on a $105 million project to renovate Amon G. Carter Stadium.
We're really committed at Texas Christian University to providing excellent facilities for our students both inside and outside of the classroom. And thanks to a great group of donors at TCU, we're going to be able to do that in one of our biggest buildings on campus.
Many people around the country have announced stadiums. TCU does not announce stadiums, TCU does stadiums. TCU does buildings, TCU does invest in its product. That's what we're all about. They're going to be able to buy a hot dog and not wait 45 minutes. Use the restroom, miss 2 quarters. You know, find a seat that actually can stretch their legs out.
10 years ago, I told the first press conference that one of my goals is to tie all 4 parts of Fort Worth together. I believe this stadium project is one of those situations that we get an opportunity to do that. Amon Carter Stadium is a landmark of Fort Worth. It's going to give an opportunity for people to be in comfort and also watch great football at the same time.
Construction will start following the final home game of the 2010 season, forcing the Armed Forces Bowl to SMU for this year.
Students from Texas went down from 70% to 62% this year. I found out why. The rising popularity of TCU sports teams is part of the cause why there are more out-of-state students at TCU than ever before. California is the second most common state students are from, while Texas is first.
To go from 92 freshmen last year from California to 149 this year is truly extraordinary.
Sports team success on campus helped some out-of-state students make their final decision to come to TCU.
The football team and baseball team are pretty good, so I wanted to watch good sports while I'm here.
I'm from Kansas, and my biggest reason was that I wanted the Division I atmosphere, but the small classroom size, so I felt like I was getting the big school, like sports and things like that.
Many students are excited to continue the spirit that has been on campus.
I like sports a lot, and I don't want to watch bad sports for 4 years.
Horned Frog sports are expected to be good again this year. The football team is now number 6 in AP polls. Be sure to tune in next week as News Now takes a look at the growing number of international students on campus and what's bringing them here besides sports.
BYU is leaving the Mountain West Conference to become independent in football, while the Cougars' other sports will join the West Coast Conference. The move is effective next July. The Cougars will go independent in football, knowing they will not be guaranteed a shot at making a BCS game like Notre Dame. Nevada and Fresno State left the Western Athletic Conference in August to join the Mountain West.
If you notice a lack of purple bikes on campus this semester, it's because the program has been temporarily suspended. In an email, Purple Bike Program Coordinator Keith Whitworth wrote, the program did not have the space necessary this summer for bike maintenance. Whitworth says he expects approval for new space soon.
Honors students will gain access to more volunteer opportunities this fall after students help create the Honors College Community Service Program. Senior Allie Smith says she founded the program because she wants to create a strong sense of community among students in the Honors College. The organization will offer 6 different volunteer opportunities, including the Boys and Girls Club, Habitat for Humanity, and Boo at the Zoo. Members of the Interfraternity Council wanted to bring a hot topic to their fall programming.
Active fraternity members and those going through fall recruitment listened to the debate of whether the drinking age should be lowered to 18. Katie Love was there.
John Andrew Willis says it wasn't hard to find an important issue for fall programming.
Felt like something involving alcohol, obviously being such a big part of college culture, would be a good type of program to have.
A representative from Choose Responsibility and Mothers Against Drunk Driving discussed the positives and negatives of lowering the drinking age to 18.
I came to the conclusion that 21 was part of the problem, not the solution to this underage drinking.
All our research shows that the drinking age needs to remain 21 for a lot of reasons, and the biggest ones, is that your brain's still developing.
The issue of lowering the drinking age to 18 or keeping it at 21 engaged some students, while others focused on something else.
So it's interesting, we have seen that because there is such ready availability, ready access to alcohol, a lot of students, even though they would benefit from this, don't see the necessity of doing it.
One student says alcohol consumption has gotten out of control because some parents don't educate their children on drinking moderately.
I drank before I came to college. I'm 21 now, and I'm pretty responsible, I feel, with drinking. I don't drink and drive. I always have a designated driver. The problem is the people who are sheltered and the people who explode when they come to college.
Seaman says he's talked to Chancellor Boschini and he doesn't think he's ready to get behind the initiative to lower the drinking age. Katie Love for TCU News Now.
To learn more about lowering the drinking age, check out amethystinitiative.org.
Workers completed 3 construction projects over the summer. The new Mary Wright Admission Center was built on the corner of Stadium and Berry. Vice Chancellor Don Mills says the new admission center will serve as a focal point of campus and make the admissions process more efficient.
The renovation of Milton Daniel Residence Hall was also completed over the summer. 300 honors students will live in the building, which now features hardwood-style flooring, an outdoor amphitheater, and in-house academic advising. Reed Hall was also renovated. One of TCU's oldest buildings now features high-tech classrooms, writing labs, and seminar rooms.
The Miss Texas pageant had 8 finalists, and this year, half of them were TCU students. Senior broadcast journalism major Ashley Melnick won the contest, while senior business major Jordan Johansson finished second. The other 2 Horned Frogs to finish in the top 8 were sophomore Kendall Morris and freshman Allison Seward. Earlier we mentioned that we're in our new studio. Soon it will look a lot different. We have a custom set design and we'll think you'll like how it turns out.
We're going to give you a sneak peek at what our new studio is going to look like. It will have a custom-built desk and background flat-screen TVs, a green screen, a window that looks over the sidewalk, and an interview set. It's scheduled to be completed by early October. That's all the news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lawrence.
And I'm Austin Pearson. For all of your latest headlines, you can check out our new joint website, tcudailyskiff.com.